So it looked like New York Liberty coach Sandy Brondello has been fired.
Sandy Brondello was the only straight white woman in the league, and she just got fired.
Sandy Brondello is out as New York Liberty head coach.
So breaking news in the WNBA, Sandy Brondello has been relieved of duties from New York.
She's going to let her play. She's a basketball genius, and she is going to let Caitlin do what Caitlin do, and that is shoot fucking threes.
Breaking news, coach Sandy Brondello has been fired, and in a shocking twist, her name is now being linked with Caitlin Clark. Don't miss what comes next. Like, subscribe, and share for more WNBA stories.
This is insane news. New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello has been fired. Fired after one season after winning the WNBA title.
At the All-Star game, Sandy Brondello was asked about Caitlin Clark, and she playfully joked about handing Caitlin the coaching hat whenever she wanted. It was lighthearted, but it underscored just how strong Clark's presence is, even from the sidelines.
About Caitlin's not into this game, but she's going to still have a great impact on this team. I will give the coaching hat to her as much as she wants, to be quite honest. So, we're going to play around with it a little bit. It'll be fun to. I think you've seen it with the Fever. She's been very active on the sideline when she wasn't playing, so we'll utilise that as well.
For many, Brondello was seen as the perfect coach for Caitlin Clark. She believed in letting players play freely, and her system seemed tailor-made for Clark's long-range shooting and offensive creativity. Fans and analysts alike thought she was the exact mentor Clark needed to thrive.
She's going to let her play. She's a basketball genius, and she is going to let Caitlin do what Caitlin do, and that is shoot fucking threes.
At the same time, the hottest storyline in the WNBA was Clark's potential 2024 comeback. The buzz connected both names, fueling speculation about what Brondello's role could mean for Caitlin's future.
Will Caitlin Clark make an impact and come back for the 2024 season? What it has been like kind of coaching Caitlin through this whole process, because we know Caitlin Clark has never been hurt prior to this. I'm blaming Indy. I'm sorry. I just got to put my blame on Indy, the reason why Caitlin hurt. But that's neither here or there.
Some argued flat out, Caitlin Clark needed a coach like Sandy Brondello. With Brondello's experience and offensive mindset, she was seen as the ideal fit for a generational talent. That's why her firing hit so hard it didn't just shake up a team, it reignited debate about Clark's future in the league.
Look, I don't think Sandy Brondello is this unbelievable coach. I don't think she's a bad coach. Like, I think a lot of people have talked about Sandy Brondello as if she's like Greg Popovich, being like, oh, Caitlin Clark needs to play for that coach. And I'm like...
When asked if Sandy Brondello deserved another season as head coach, Breanna Stewart didn't hesitate. She gave a glowing endorsement praising Sandy's resilience, her leadership through injuries, and her steady hand that kept the Liberty together.
What would you say to those who question whether Sandy should be here next year to coach you guys again? I'm not saying I question it. There's just some people that do.
I mean, to anybody that kind of questions Sandy being here, like, this is a resilient group, and she has our back and we have hers. And the way that she continued to kind of, I don't know, deal with the cards she was dealt, like, was incredible. It wasn't easy for anybody, but she came in every day with a positive attitude and a mindset to put us in our best positions possible and best foot forward. So we're not going to be a team that points fingers. There's a lot of us that could have done better this season, but we're still going to fight and show up for each other every single day, and I think that's what's the most important part. So we have Sandy's back.
In a later press conference, Stewart doubled down. She said Brondello always maintained a positive mindset and put players in the best position to succeed. It was clear the locker room had Sandy's back.
Thanks. They said, we have Sandy's back. They wanted her back. And she is now out as the New York Liberty head coach. I think the Indiana Fever, look, we could fix a lot of this we messed up. We can fix a lot of things that were messed up in the past offseason.
But the front office didn't. Despite player loyalty, the Liberty decided to cut ties. For many fans and analysts, the move felt like a slap in the face not just to Brondello, but to the stars who had vouched for her. With both Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart headed for free agency, critics questioned why the organization would risk alienating its cornerstones.
I think the Liberty about to fall off, if you ask me. Like, let Stephanie White go to New York. She can go coach over there. Hey, I'm just saying, what's the problem? You can't tell. This is they said Sandy has got the most wins in history for the Liberty. Come on, man. This girl know how to win. We ain't talking about somebody who's a defensive coach, someone who's relying on Austin Kelly to run the offense because they don't know what the hell they're doing. We're talking about somebody who likes Caitlin Clark, is used to winning, likes threes. What?
The cameras caught Stewart's reaction in real time. Her expression, shock, frustration, and disbelief suggested she had been tipped off but not consulted. That moment poured fuel on the fire, sparking rumors of deep friction between the Liberty locker room and management.
Now, y'all see her face. I don't know who asked that question, but she was tipped off. She was tipped off. Had to have been tipped off. This comment right here says, sorry, Stewie, y'all underachieved with Sandy. Sandy and Sabrina, welcome to the Fever, baby. Sandy running the offense. Bria running the D. White, AC, and Sabrina at the 3 with CC, Kelsey. Yeah, that'd be a nasty. The reporter saw it into the future because it had to been out there.
Sandy Brondello is out as head coach of the New York Liberty. The organization has decided not to renew her contract, a shocking move coming just 1 year after she led the team to a championship.
Did she want to go? Was there something else going on that just the public was not aware of? But this woman is 1 year from winning a chip, and in my opinion, is the best coach in the WNBA. So I'm not sure. This was a shock. I don't think anybody saw this coming. If there were rumors about this, I never heard them.
One of the most respected coaches in women's basketball now finds herself on the outside looking in. Brondello delivered New York its long-awaited title, only to be dismissed the following season, a decision that has stunned fans, players, and analysts alike.
Coaches in the WNBA has just found herself on the unemployment line. Yes, you heard me correctly. She just won the final championship last year. And I'm telling you right now, this is a dumb decision by New York Liberty. Sandy Brondello is like that as a coach.
Coaching at the professional level is unforgiving, but few could have predicted this. Even with a championship on her resume, Brondello wasn't safe. Around the league, reactions poured in as many questioned how a title-winning coach could be cut loose so quickly.
Sandy Brondello won a championship last year for the New York Liberty, but they put this super team together and they weren't super, and apparently that means they need to succeed her with someone who they think can do the job better for Breanna Stewart and company.
Sandy Brondello was the only straight white woman coaching in the WNBA, and now she's out. Her sudden firing has raised questions about hidden agendas and left fans stunned, wondering why the decision came now.
All the while, just a couple of days earlier, Annie Costabel wrote this article and put it out. Now, I don't believe they're related necessarily, but it does show you that this league and people around the league.
Despite leading the New York Liberty to their first ever championship in 2024 in 4 straight playoff runs, Brondello's contract will not be renewed for the 2026 season. It's a stunning twist. The head coach of a champion team suddenly removed from the picture.
I don't know, man. I hope she do figure out a way to make her way back to the court. As of right now, we don't know, man. I feel as if they need to try to get Sandy Brondello. Stephanie White, granted, she's overachieving right now. We all can admit that she definitely is. But I feel as if they need to figure out a way to get Sandy Brondello, bro.
Some fans insist the league just lost one of its best coaches. Others believe her coaching style didn't fit the long-term direction of the Liberty. Still, many argue that Brondello's experience and resume, including a WNBA title, make her an ideal leader for stars like Caitlin Clark.
Look, I don't think Sandy Brondello is this unbelievable coach. I don't think she's a bad coach. Like, I think a lot of people have have talked about Sandy Brondello as if she's like Greg Popovich, being like, oh, Caitlin Clark needs to play for that coach. And I'm like, the Caitlin Clark one's an interesting one because I think Steph White is... The worst part about Steph White is that Steph White is so good at coaching a specific type of team. And we know that for a fact, that she's good at that. We don't know if she can coach a Caitlin Clark team.
In fact, buzz is already building. Analysts are saying that if any team wants to change the direction of their franchise, Brondello is the move to make. Stephanie White may be overachieving right now, but Brondello is seen by many as the true franchise changer.
As New York Liberty head coach, and then not even 3 days after Noelle Quinn got fired, the WNBA media is already back to race baiting for engagement. But first, let's get to former New York Liberty head coach, 2024 champion of the New York Liberty, Sandy Brondello, out after 4 seasons. The last 3 seasons, Sandy Brondello, 32-8, made the finals, lost to the Las Vegas Aces.
The basketball world was stunned when ESPN broke the story. The New York Liberty have fired head coach Sandy Brondello just 1 year after she delivered the franchise its first ever WNBA championship.
WNBA world is on fire right now. Code red, everybody alert. Sandy Brondello is out on the market. We got a shark out on the market. This is wild news. Sandy Brondello has been fired by the New York Liberty in shocking fashion.
Fans couldn't believe it. How could the Liberty cut ties with the winningest coach in their history so quickly? Even this season, with major injuries to stars like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, Brondello still managed to keep the Liberty competitive and fighting at the top of the standings.
You mean to tell me the New York Liberty let Sandy Brondello go? What? A year after the Liberty won the championship? Like, I know they did not let her go because of this season. Bruh, Breanna Stewart was hurt. Hell, she was hurt in the playoffs playing. Sabrina Ionescu got hurt this season. Jaquel Jones missed a lot of games from being hurt this season.
The team confirmed the news on social media, announcing they had mutually agreed to part ways. But for fans, the move felt like a stunning betrayal. Brondello had led the Liberty to back-to-back finals appearances and cemented them as contenders. Yet the front office still decided it was time for a new direction.
By the New York Liberty, dog, they took to their social media to tell the world that they have parted ways with the longtime coach. Now, me personally, I feel like it was a bad decision by them, bro. They should not have fired her. She's the winningest coach in franchise history. She just won the WNBA finals. You had one hiccup year due to injuries that's out of her control. Why fire her?
For Liberty Nation, the message was clear. This was more than just a coaching change. It was one of the most controversial firings in WNBA history.
All right, man. So the news has dropped. Liberty to part ways with Sandy Brondello. Yo, oh my goodness. I didn't see this coming. Man. I can't hold you. I mean, she literally just won the title last year. Now, granted, a lot of people are disagreeing with how they won. Right? A lot of people are disagreeing with how they won. But nonetheless, they won.
Almost instantly, speculation flared. Some wondered if her name being linked to Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever had become a distraction. Reports noted how her firing coincided with whispers about Clark's future, fueling theories that the league and its teams were already maneuvering behind the scenes.
In the NFL, they call it Black Monday. Today seems like Black Tuesday as WNBA coaches are getting fired. And I read the comments and he said, Money Mike, we need more. Well, I'm going to keep on breaking this thing down, folks. At the end of the day, anyone, any objection, anyone that's not on the leadership team of the WNBA.
Instead of a clean cut, Brondello's firing now looks like part of a bigger WNBA storyline, one that doesn't just affect New York, but could ripple all the way to Indiana in Caitlin Clark's next chapter.
Sandy Brondello who is a 2-time WNBA championship head coach, the coach of the New York Liberty, formerly of the New York Liberty, has been fired. And I don't know if there's going to be some drama that we're going to find out about. I don't know what's going on. I can tell you what I'm thinking immediately. It's a clear upgrade. It's a clear upgrade. Somebody, by the way, that adores Caitlin Clark.
Speculation exploded after Sandy Brondello's sudden firing. Some wondered if it tied into bigger league issues from CBA negotiations to how the WNBA manages its star players. Caitlin Clark's rising influence only added to the mystery, making the timing feel suspicious.
Nobody knows what's going to happen after this year, after this season is over with, because they got to go right into this CBA negotiation, and that is not going to be an easy task. Not to mention that Fee and Stewie, they're going right into Unrivaled. So now you got to figure how you going to balance doing Unrivaled and then negotiating a new CBA deal.
Fans quickly revisited Brondello's own words from the All-Star break when she joked about handing Caitlin Clark the coaching hat if she wanted. After her dismissal, that comment took on new weight. To many, it symbolized an unusual closeness between the coach and Clark.
In the post-game press conferences, that kind of, she was approachable, she was likable, and all those things. Now that doesn't translate necessarily into wins and losses or good rotations or whatever else goes into coaching. I mean, her record is pretty hard to refute.
Supporters went further, calling Brondello the Lisa Bluter 2.0 that Caitlin Clark needed at the pro level. They believed she was the one coach who could unlock the same dominance Clark displayed at Iowa. Her departure is now seen by some as a setback to Clark's growth.
The one we seen at Iowa, Sandy's going to be that one. She's going to be Lisa Bluter 2.0. I promise you, bro. She like that. Said New York Liberty coaching update. The New York Liberty has announced today the head coach, Sandy Brondello contract will not be renewed for 2026 season. Goes on to say, we would like to thank Sandy Brondello for her everlasting impact on the New York Liberty, Jonathan Cobb stated, general manager.
Still, calls are growing louder for Sandy Brondello to be hired again, this time directly connected to Clark's future. Even after her firing, her name and her reputation remain tied to the generational star, raising questions about what comes next.
We don't know, man. I feel as if they need to try to get Sandy Brondello. Stephanie White, granted, she's overachieving right now. We all can admit that she definitely is. But I feel as if they need to figure out a way to get Sandy Brondello.
Brondello was openly supportive of Caitlin Clark, and fans didn't miss it. That bond sparked whispers online, with some critics even suggesting it may have influenced decisions within the Liberty. Whether fair or not, the connection left people questioning the real reason behind her sudden removal.
I don't know. I just, and this ridiculous article about no black women has gotten destroyed. Exhausting. It's always about race bullshit. Teams put the best person in the position. Race shouldn't be considered. Stop race baiting DEI nonsense, please. Not in this league. 37th chamber, but I did like your comment. Follow.
Almost overnight, Caitlin Clark's name became part of the conversation. Observers pointed out that Brondello was exactly the kind of coach who could lead a generational star like Clark. Her firing didn't just shock New York, it sent ripples across the entire WNBA.
Have talked about Sandy Brondello as if she's like Greg Popovich, being like, oh, Caitlin Clark needs to play for that coach. And I'm like, the Caitlin Clark one's an interesting one because I think Steph White is... The worst part about Steph White is that Steph White is so good at coaching a specific type of team. And we know that for a fact, that she's good at that. We don't know if she can coach a Caitlin Clark team.
Analysts quickly speculated on Brondello's next move. Some believe she might step away completely, returning to Australia to recharge before deciding her future. Others insisted she could resurface and rebuild another franchise, proving her value all over again.
I'm gonna go enjoy my days in Australia, I believe. Some nice peace, some quiet, hang out with some kangaroos, pet the pandas, sit on a beach, drink a mimosa, drink a cocktail, do whatever they do over there in Australia. Go relax, Sandy. Get away from this league. Get a peace of mind. Maybe sit back and wait for a Juju to come in and say, okay, I'm gonna go take that job.
But the biggest rumor of them all? That Sandy Brondello could land in Indiana right alongside Caitlin Clark. Commentators argued that such a pairing would bring a true Lisa Bluder-style system into the WNBA, a blueprint perfectly suited for Clark's game.
Would you like to be in Indiana? Have you ever tried the Indiana barbecue out in the hood? Come on now. I think we need to make a move to get Sammy Brondello to the Indiana Fever, man. I think this is that Sammy Brondello with Caitlin Clark. This is the closest thing we would get to Lisa Bluder style.
But then came the shock. Speculation swirled that New York moved quickly to cut ties with Brondello because they had their eyes on other big-name coaching candidates, maybe even from the NBA. The sudden decision only fueled questions about what really happened behind the scenes.
I'm not saying get rid of Kelsey. I like the Splash Sisters. But if Kelsey's going to stay, if Kelsey's only going wherever Stephanie White going because she feels appreciated with Stephanie White, then, I mean, y'all can both go. Y'all, because Stephanie White is going to make this Kelsey's team it's not even about whose team it is. Fuck all that. It's about the pace.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's supporters weren't ready to let go of the idea. They argued that Sandy Brondello was exactly the kind of coach Indiana needed, someone who could maximize Clark's game and take the Fever from playoff hopefuls to championship contenders.
Let me type in Sandy Brondello. Man, she's probably trending. I knew she was trending on Twitter. Yeah, she's hella trending. Yeah, bro, everybody's talking about this. Sandy Brondello let go. New York Liberty coach Sandy Brondello contract would not be renewed. It's just the official statement. Sandy Brondello has been let go, release attachment. She finished Ashley winning his coaching franchise history. We would like to thank Sandy Brondello for her everlasting impact on New York Liberty. Oh, this is the full statement.
I'll be honest, I like Sandy Brondello. I think she's the best coach in the league, and New York is going to be worse without her. I'm with Brianna Stewart on this one. WTF? Shocking move. Nobody thought this was coming, and yet here we are. This is a big-time story. I did not think she was going to get fired at all. You don't just replace a coach with her resume, her presence, her ability to manage stars. But at the same time, you have to be ruthless in pro sports. If even one of the Liberty stars wasn't all in on Sandy, ownership was going to pull the trigger. That's the reality of chasing a championship window.
Nobody saw this coming. I like Sandy Brondello, like her as a coach. I think she's the best in the league, and New York is going to be worse.
It's about all I got to say about it. I don't have too much insight for you. It just happened. But that's my instant reaction. I'm with Brianna Stewart on this one. WTF.
But Sandy Brondello, this is a big-time, major story. I didn't think she was going to get fired, bro.
It's a really, really interesting one with this, because I don't hate the Sandy Brondello fire. I think it's harsh. But you got to be ruthless at times.
Still, I think they need to figure out a way to keep Sandy Brondello in the league in any shape, form, or fashion. She's too good to be on the sidelines of women's basketball.
I don't know, man. I hope she do figure out a way to make her way back to as of right now. We don't know, man. I feel as if they need to try to get Sandy.
As a sports fan, I can hope for any coach I want, and all eyes are still on Caitlin Clark's future. History is being rewritten in the WNBA. Sandy Brondello is out, and Caitlin Clark's story is just beginning. Don't miss what happens next. Like, subscribe, and share to stay ahead of the game.